Hold on. Say that again.
Yeah, we got somebody coming to get this.
Let me explain why you should never give your job 2 weeks notice before leaving. I'm attorney Danielle Best. I've handled hundreds of employment cases over my career, and let me explain why you should never give 2 weeks notice. In 90% of the cases, 99% of the cases, you are going to be considered an at-will employee. An at-will employee can leave their job at any time for any reason, and you can be terminated at any time for any reason. If you have a contract with your employer, this may not apply to you because the terms of the contract is what's going to control your employment relationship. If you are an at-will employee, which means you can be terminated at any time for any reason except for a discriminatory reason, and you can leave your job at any time for any reason, you do not want to tell them that you're leaving in 2 weeks because they can terminate you. Giving notice that you're leaving in 2 weeks is a courtesy. It is not required, and it is not usually in your best interest. It is not retaliation for your employer to terminate you because you gave them 2 weeks notice. I saw people all in the comments saying, oh, this is retaliation, this is retaliation. Well, it might be retaliation, but it is not actionable retaliation. So each state have their own employment laws. Maybe there's some state out there that I'm not aware of that says you can't terminate somebody who gives you notice. I'm not aware of it. If you are, let me know in the comments. But the main law that governs how you can be treated as an employee is Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, which says you cannot be treated differently because of your race, your sex, your age, your disability, your national origin, those types of things. It says nothing about being terminated because you gave 2 weeks notice. If it's not part of Title VII, if it's not protected by some other law like the Pregnancy Act, the Age Discrimination Act, the Genetic Information Act, if it's not protected by those things, your employer can do it. From an employer's perspective, when employees have told us that they will be leaving in 2 weeks, we are ready to terminate them right away, and let me explain why. First of all, your head is already someplace else. Your head is someplace else. You're probably not going to give us 100%. We don't want you messing up things in the last 2 weeks, and it's just in our best interest to move on. So what we have done is we have said, hey, thanks for giving us 2 weeks notice. We're going to give you your 2 weeks paycheck. But we're not going to have you coming into our office anymore. That is a courtesy on our part to give you your check, but that's what we typically do because, we just want to leave things as smooth as possible with people. But you will notice that when you're terminated, nobody gives you a 2 weeks notice for termination. When you're terminated, you come in and they tell you today is your last day. A decision has been made that you will no longer be with us and today is your last day. So if you are wondering whether you should give 2 weeks notice, don't do it. The only people who may be required to give 2 weeks notice is someone who has a contract. No contract, no notice, don't do it. The only exception to this, other than those people with contracts, would be career federal employees. If you're a career federal employee, your employer can't terminate you in 2 weeks. They have to give you notice that you're going to be terminated. There's a whole long process. So in that case, yeah, you can give them notice. They can't terminate you.